How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video we're going to be going over how to throw runners out with the catcher. This is going to be a defensive tutorial on how to get a perfect throw with the catcher. So in order to do this, I needed to go into a friendly game with my college roommate. This guy I've known for quite some time now. He was also my throwing partner throughout my baseball career. Definitely a good friend of mine, honestly my best friend in my personal life. So anyway, we'll go ahead and set up these settings. We want to have button accuracy on. We want to have throw canceling on along with the throwing meter. And this is just a quick setup as I get into this. I will be breaking this down into slow motion. But basically, he's going to take a step lead. He's going to steal. And I'm trying to get that perfect throw, a low throw, so that way Fernando Tatis can make the tag. Now, I am going to be using different catchers and different shortstops in this video to make the tags, to make these throws. Right now I have my creative player Pablo Sanchez in that catcher. He has 90 something arm, mid 90s, so also with mid 90s accuracy, so that's something to keep in mind. We're going to be breaking it down on how to get this throwing meter to pop up. There I purposely waited as long as possible without getting it in the red to make the throw. He was still out. We're going to go ahead and hop into a slow motion replay of this. So in order to get the throwing meter in the first place, you're going to make your pitch. I'm using analog, whichever method of pitching you're using, meter or analog. You're going to throw the pitch, and then once the ball's mid-flight, you're going to press the triangle button to bring up that meter once the catcher catches the ball. And then you're going to press it once again. You're going to press triangle once again, and we're going to break this down into slow motion one more time. So I will tell you exactly when to press triangle or when I'm pressing triangle, and that is once I release this analog stick for the pitch. Now I'm pressing triangle right here. He's going to pop up with a pretty good animation from one knee in a crouched or crotched position, throwing in a good low throw right to the base, and Tatis makes the tag, as you can see in slow motion there. 94 speed, Mickey Mantle, the rookie version. No, these guys do not have the fastest speed or the highest steal rating, so that will also come into play here. But here's the throwing meter on a pitch out. So in order to throw a pitch out, you press L1 and X at the same time, and he will automatically do that slide step. I call that a slide step rather than a quick pitch, simply because a quick pitch is kind of pitching the ball when your opponent isn't ready, or quickly pitching the ball without letting the batter get set in the batter's box if it were a real game. A slide step is when you're trying to keep the runner close and you kind of go from one knee to the other knee. When you pick up your foot, you go from knee to knee is kind of what they call in terms of pitching mechanics. But anyway, I wanted to focus on throwing the ball to second base even when he wasn't stealing. So my friend Dale, he wasn't able to get that steal attempt going right there, but you are still able to throw and practice that throwing meter if you would like to. This one I missed a little bit late, but that was still a quality throw. If you noticed a couple frames ago, I had a poor throw in the red. I tried to throw it over the second baseman's head just to see what would happen. That's the first time that's ever happened. In this situation, I'm breaking it down into slow motion once again. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. Although press the button slightly early, you want to press it as it's going into that middle arrow there. And I tried to get different timings. For the most part, though, if I was to try this, you saw the first couple attempts, I was able to get a perfect throw each and every time. But I wanted to show you guys the different animations that you can get. That will adjust the timing for this throw. This throw was placed a little bit higher than the perfect throw I had that adjusts for the small frame rate. And basically all I mean by that is that it took a few more frames in order for Gleyber Torres to make the tag. Now he does have bronze fielding at second base as well. That's the face of the franchise, Gleyber Torres, playing in a secondary position. Here's a great situation where, you know, he had a better transition into making that catch. Even though the runner wasn't going, that was a better throw. It was a perfect throw. That was a better one than, let's say, the one where he kind of threw it behind him as he's running over to second base. But this is a situation where we'll go into slow motion once again. I did not quite get a perfect throw in this situation either, but it still is a pretty good throw. I waited a little bit too long, threw it almost into the red, but it was in the yellow, and it was still a good throw. I mean, pretty similar to the same exact throw where I just missed the green perfect throw meter. So now we're going to go ahead and swap in Yasmani Grandal as a catcher. He has a little bit better fielding rating than my creative player, but he has a much weaker arm strength. So we're going to use Yasmani Grandal for a couple of these throws. I'm going to try and get a perfect throw with him right there. Got a perfect one. I also brought in Andrelton Simmons to play shortstop. So we have a diamond fielder. That might increase the frames for how quickly he puts the tag down. I'm not sure, so I'm testing out a few things. That time, Dale got a really good jump. He got almost a walking lead. So I threw the ball as quickly as I could with the catcher. So I threw it in the yellow. We still got him out, but if you notice, he got a much better jump on this one. It is in slow motion, so you could see that it was slightly delayed. If this was a 99 steal player, no matter what, he's safe for the most part. 94 speed, 99 steal, he's safe. But I threw that as quickly as I could. Still a pretty good throw, and Andrelton Simmons applies the tag rather quickly. And that is a 99 fielder at shortstop. So I wanted to try a few things out. I wanted to try some pitch outs with a yellow throw. I wanted to kind of determine the difference. Which strategy do you want to use, and which strategy works best for the catcher that you're using? So this is an out of position, actually secondary position. I shouldn't say out of position because then he wouldn't even be able to catch the ball. But Carlos Santana is the catcher now, and he has pretty low fielding already. This is the gold Carlos Santana, so this is not the face of the franchise, but he still has catcher as his secondary position, even with his gold card. So I wanted to try this card out. He has even a lower throw attribute or arm strength attribute, as you can tell by the green window is shortened. That was not a perfect throw, but he still got him. And then I also wanted to use a player that has a pretty low blocking attribute to see if that made any difference. But that throw was to the second baseman, and that was still a pretty quick tag. I'm not quite noticing too much difference in terms of the attribute in the field and the tags being made, but it might help the transition. There's another bronze fielder, O'Neal Cruz, playing third, and that was also a really nice perfect throw. Solid bang play. Now he has a couple step lead, even though this guy has a 2 steal attribute. That's the thing I wanted to mention. If you're trying to steal bases, you want to have a good amount of speed, at least 70 something speed, and a good stealing attribute, or else you're going to get gunned down almost every time unless you put the ball in play. Now if you're looking to do a hit and run, then that's a little bit different. You can pretty much go with anybody in a hit and run. You can also throw to the wrong base. Let's say you throw a pitch out, you think he's going to go and then go back to first. You can throw to first base, however they might just take second, but I also wanted to include that in this video and throw a couple times to third base to see the difference between each base a little bit. So anyway, that's my catcher's throwing tutorial. That's my defensive tutorial there. That might help you cut down some runners. I'm going to hop into a couple games of the event just for some highlights purposes, as well as give you guys a nice squad update. I recently picked up a few closing pitchers, as well as there should be some new content released into the game this afternoon. I think we're getting a relief pitching version of Kerry Wood, as well as a Dante Bichette in the headliner pack. So anyway, these were a couple games of the event that I played. I wanted to mix it up. I've been playing a lot of ranked seasons. I wanted to mix it up every now and then. With the event, this opponent got a 4-run lead and were able to hit a 3-run shot to make it a game. However, this guy brought in the Ryan Feuerbrand knuckleball pitcher. He ended up doing pretty well in this game, pitching with that card. He was throwing it with a lot of movement. He didn't bring him in. He brought him in after Greg Maddux here. But anyway, Byron Buxton's trying to tie this game up, a 3-1 count. He ties it up. Then after this, the opponent brought the knuckleballer in and ended up walking the game off with Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo had 2 home runs against me in that game. Definitely a solid player to have on your team, and that card's been incredible for me. I would have liked to play that dude. He was already in World Series. I would have liked to play him straight up without using a knuckleballer, but it is what it is. Anyway, this is going to be the squad. We have Mike Trout leading off, Pablo Sanchez, 85, power-focused, creative player at catcher, Joey Gallo, Josh Bell, Gleyber Torres, Fernando Tatis, that Curtis Granderson that's free, Byron Buxton, Shohei Ohtani, and a pretty solid gold bench. Now our pitching staff is pretty good as well. We have Ohtani, Blake Snell, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Michael Kopech. I picked up this new Eric Gagne as well as Aroldis Chapman because he's a solid lefty that has the outlier quirk. Dennis Eckersley's been locked down for me as well as a closer. But yeah, I'm looking to get that Kerry Wood. He should be a free card that's similar to the program as Curtis Granderson. But thank you all for watching this video. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.